Hello everybody, it's Kitty from Kitty's Kitchen here talking to you. It's still coronavirus time. We're still in our houses, and I'm wanting to cook pizza tonight. Hope everybody's okay. Hope everybody's staying in for the time being. Hopefully we'll be through this soon. Hopefully we can get back to work. I'd like that. If we could really get back to work, that'd be really good. But in the meantime, here we are at home. So I want to cook pizza tonight. I've got the ingredients here. I'm going to use just a Pillsbury crust. It's from one of these store-bought pizza dough things. And we're going to use, I refrained from using the pizza sauce that I saw in the grocery store because I personally like to make my own pizza sauce. But in this particular recipe, it said it was okay to use like a spaghetti marinara sauce, like your typical marinara sauce. This one's tomato, basil, and garlic from Prego. And as you see, we have a couple of mozzarella balls, tomato, mushrooms, and I even think maybe I'll put some pepperoni on it. I don't know, maybe I'll cheat. I was thinking about making an all-vegetarian pizza tonight, but I don't know, maybe I should put pepperonis on it. I'm not sure. We'll just have to see. Anyway, I'm going to want to put, first of all, the pizza dough here on this parchment paper here. The parchment paper is here on the oven. And so let's see if I can't open this. I think there's a way to open these things. I think it pops. Or you have to cut it with a knife or something like that. Let's see. Let's get it with the knife. Okay, it popped. You can see. It's got dough. I'm not sure if it's square or if it's round, but somehow I think it's a square piece. I'm not exactly sure where it starts. Let's see. Just if you see the seams, pull it apart at the seams. You know, usually I would like to make my own homemade cooking dough. Last year I made some bread, and I put away some for exactly this exact purpose, to make some pizza dough. And if you make bread and put aside some for pizza dough, that's a really good idea. Because you can make some really nice dough out of a already risen actual real dough that you're making, but this is in a Thai-made Pillsbury. It's being a little bit difficult. But I think it's going to turn into a square piece. getting the sides. And then a little bit of the top fell off. Okay. So that's what we're working with. It's a little bit of a square piece of pizza dough. It's a little thin. Looks like there's some holes in it. Maybe I can squish together some of the holes. I don't know. Well, anyway, there's that. And now I'm going to push pause, and I'm going to cook up some of the spaghetti sauce. Well, actually, maybe I don't need to push pause. Maybe I'll just keep going. I'm going to put this in the oven for the time being. I'm not going to start the oven, but I am going to get some of this sauce going. I'm not going to turn on the oven for now. I'm just going to make some of the ingredients. So now we have the tomato and garlic and basil sauce. So the recipe calls for about 2 cups of that. But I think like the more the merrier. That's 1 cup. Now I'm going to turn that down a little bit. It actually says to put a little bit of red pepper flakes and some olive oil at first to just make some hot red pepper flakes. A little bit of olive oil. And I think somewhere in here I have red pepper flakes. It's a full spice, I think, that I have in here. Let me just pause it for the time being. It's a matter of finding the red pepper flakes. They were on the opposite side of my spice rack. That's why I wasn't able to find it. But these are red pepper flakes with a little bit of olive oil. Just dash a couple in there. You don't want it to be too spicy or anything like that, but red pepper flakes just add a little bit of spice to it. And I'm excited for this particular recipe. It's going to be more vegetarian than not. In fact, I might even make just a simple vegetarian pizza, which might be good too with the simple tomatoes and the mushrooms. But pepperoni does sound good, doesn't it? I'm a little bit indecisive at the moment. Well, anyway, the red pepper flakes are cooking, but that's what the recipe says, is to put the red pepper flakes in. Oh, that's really hot. Well, I guess about 2 cups is in what's in this jar. And that'll be our sauce. So that's going to be good. This is an interesting recipe. Anyway, I'm just going to let it cook for, kind of simmer down for about 10 minutes. I'll put it on pause in the meantime and maybe cut some of these ingredients out. That's too hot. I think I have a lid. I can put a lid on it. That way it won't splatter on my walls and things like that. So, in the meantime, after putting the sauce in there for a little time, we can go ahead and cut up the extra of the ingredients so I can make the tomato. And now if you want to just wash things because of the coronavirus, just make sure that somebody else's hands didn't infect the vegetable. Cut out the top. I want to cut it in full slices. Like full slices meaning like a slice of tomato like this. Okay, so that's my tomato. I should probably get a plate. Put the tomatoes on a plate. And put them aside for the time being. Now, the mozzarella. Little balls of mozzarella. Let's see if we can't grate these into pieces. Maybe I can put them on the same plate as the tomatoes are. Calls for about 16 ounces, which is about 2 of these. Which is about 2 of these mozzarella balls. Let me see if this works. Well, here we are. We're getting some slices. That's actually working. Maybe it would be faster if I just cut it. Just very lightly, just very thinly. I didn't get this shredded because I kind of want it to be authentic. But I'm having a little bit of doubt in this Pillsbury dough. I think that there's other better doughs that you can use. But for now, that's what we've got. And maybe I'll make some bread and take some to make some pizza, because that's really the best way to do it. If you're going to make fresh dough, fresh bread, that's really the best way to do it. This can be on low. Okay, that should be enough cheese, I think, to do it. So here's the tomatoes, and we can put the cheese on here and add that because it's all going to go on the same place. So and then I think I could probably cut a little bit of garlic. Probably do a little bit of garlic. And the best way to do it is, there are these like things you can find at the grocery store that have a bunch of garlic heads in them. And you just sort of, for whatever occasion you want, you can just pull one out and use the garlic for this particular exercise. So I'm just going to take some time and chop some garlic, so you don't really need to see it. I'll put it on pause. Hello, I'm back. So this pizza crust here looks a little flimsy. It's a square, it's like a rectangular shape. It's Pillsbury. They have a rectangular shaped pizza instead of a round pizza. So that's what you get when you get Pillsbury, which I think was the only option at the grocery store when I looked for pizza doughs. And again, another option is to cook your own pizza, like make your own dough, make your own bread. And I have a really good bread recipe, but it makes a lot of bread, and I don't, well, maybe I'll do that another time. But anyway, so let's just work with this. So in the meantime, it's good to poke holes in your dough. So that the sauce doesn't make it soggy. And I learned this when I used to work at a pizza saloon in Montana at Moose's. You always have to, I forget what the word is, but this is really thin dough. This is really thin. I'm forgetting the word. Pulverized? That's not right. Anyway. So we're just going to smash that, which is, that should do fine. Meantime, I'll turn on the oven now to 400. It just takes a minute for this to get going here, the oven. But in the meantime, I've got this hot sauce that I heated up, if you remember on the stove, I heated it up. So I guess it's time just to put it on a little bit. This is, again, tomato, basil, garlic sauce. And I think you want to spread it all the way to the ends of the dough so that nothing won't burn. Okay. I think that's enough dough, enough sauce. So while you were on pause, I chopped up some garlic. So this should go along well with that. Let's just sprinkle some garlic on there. I like garlic, so I used a whole head. I used one of those whole things. Maybe I won't use that much in this, but I think I've decided to make this one a vegetarian pizza because I'm just not feeling to eat meat today. Might as well have all these good vegetables. We can use these good vegetables. So now we have the mushrooms. Well, maybe I should put the tomatoes on. Well, the tomatoes have a little bit of cheese on them. Put the tomatoes on. Maybe we could have done with one more. Tomato. Now the mushrooms, and with mushrooms you don't need to put any water on them, because if you do, that's not good. I learned that again at Moose's. I learned a lot of cooking techniques at my old job at Moose's Saloon in Montana. But mushrooms are good. Just you don't want to put any water on them. You don't need to wash them. That's the one vegetable that you shouldn't wash.